I opened up a drawer and I spotted this hand grinder, and I was like, oh, interesting. And I was like, I wonder if that's a Dumore. So I pulled it out, and it's a Miller's Falls of Greenfield, Massachusetts. So this is a pretty early one. This is a Type 306B, and the no-load RPM is 18,000, 110 volt. That's kind of a dead giveaway that that's kind of an older one, 110 volt. It's like 1.3 amps. So it's not a Dumore. And I was like, oh, well. So then, of course, I opened up another drawer and there was a Dumore in there. Because I wasn't so thrilled about this one when I saw that it wasn't a Dumore. And as soon as I pulled the Dumore out, he said, yeah, I'm going to probably keep that one. So I was like, all right, great. So I'm thinking, yeah, either this guy's didn't realize it was in there and now he decided he wants it, or I just convinced him that he wanted it when I was saying that it's not a Dumore. So I, well, anyways, this has some interesting noises when you turn it manually. It does work, because I wasn't going to buy it unless it worked. And I think I had to give him 20 bucks for this thing, which isn't by any means a steal. Let's fire it up so you can hear this puppy. Oh. Left it on. The cord is actually not that horrible. It's old and crusty, but it actually still has its some elasticity to it. It's not all dry and cracked off. Takes a little time to get where it's going. Has that ionizing smell that you get with, if you've ever played with electric trains, the old Lionels, you'll know what I mean about that smell. But what I liked about it was it looks like this is running pretty true. And the reason why that I'm attracted to that is because those of you who have seen the Dumore that I scored a really good deal on, or so I thought, know that my Dumore has an issue with something is bent or out of alignment seriously on the end here, so that it runs way out of whack. So the other thing about this one, though, is that it's got a tiny collet in there. You can see how small that is. This whole part right here is actually smaller than on the Dumore. Alright guys, so here's my Dumore grinder. This I thought was the buy of the century. It was marked for $7 on a table and at a yard sale, estate sale, and it was still there later in the day, and I snagged it for $5. But I would definitely do more with this if it wasn't for the fact that when this thing runs with a with something in it, it wobbles like a son of a gun. And I haven't gotten to the point yet to figure out whether or not it's a problem with the shaft being running out of whack, or whether or not it's just an issue with the collet that's in there. The collet that's in there looks pretty big, and then the collet that's in here is very tiny. So ultimately, it would be great if I had both of them running well, because then I could use one for one size and one for another, because none of these came with any extra collets. So here you can kind of get an idea of the size difference in the collets, at least. Well, I see there's a little poppet oiler here, and there's a screw right here that says oil right on it. So obviously you remove that screw and oil there. I wonder when the last time this thing's seen any love in the form of oil. I'm just curious if we give it a little bit of oil, whether or not it'll spin up any faster, or if anything else changes. It doesn't look bone dry down in there, which is good. You hear that noise? That's bearing or brushes or something going on in there. Well, even though the brushes sound kind of crunchy or something doesn't sound so great in there, just for the heck of it, let's see if we can't get a measurement on the tachometer here, on the mighty Jacquet tachometer. Yes, it's the tachometer with the French-sounding name from Switzerland. I use the finest made-in-China piece of crap wrenches here to remove this. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. Think that stone's pretty much cooked or what? Not much left in there. What's interesting to me is it appears to me that's not a collet to speak of. That I could see the split goes all the way up here. So this actual nose piece, probably, judging by the fact that there's a place to hold the shaft here, the right sized wrench, I think this might thread into this part. So I think originally you had to change this nose piece to change the size, which yeah, good luck finding those. Where's the what did I do with the do more? Did I put it away already? Did do more? Do less? I mean, I guess the do more's got kind of a similar setup. The thing I thought I remembered with the do more though is that it had a standard, well, not standard. No, the do more's made the same way. I don't know why I didn't notice that before, but so well, no, that does look a little different. Maybe this doesn't come off of the do more. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. All right. Let's try not to make this episode 2 days long. So will this fit? Are we that lucky? No. What a bummer. So much for that idea. Oh, I tell you what, that's awfully close. A little bit of rustification in there too. Oh yeah, that'll work. All right, 10,000 to 50,000 range. I believe that's what we want. This was what, 18,000 RPM? What I was supposed to theoretically get up to. This seems like a bad idea. Oh, let's see if I can't hold it. I'll tell you, it took a while to get there, but it actually got up to 18,000. That's funny. Let's do that again with a close-up on the dial here. So, because I've got it on the 10,000 to 50,000 scale, when it's on the 10 here, that's 10,000, and then the 15 is 15,000. 20's over here. So, on that inner graduated scale, each solid line is another 1,000. So 18,000's right there. For those of you playing along at home. All right, who wants to take bets whether or not I can do it again? 17 and a half. Come on, baby. There's 18. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, 18 and a half. She can't take it, Captain. All right, enough of this silliness. Well, that was really dumb. What just happened off camera was I went to take this off of here, and it was really kind of a tight fit. So I was pulling on this to pull it out, and when it suddenly released, it slipped out of my hands, and the tachometer bounced onto the concrete shop floor here. So my precision Swiss instrument, I was actually scared to even look at what I had done to it. And when I picked it up and I first looked at it, I didn't even really see any marks on it or anything broken. But the first thing I noticed was there's a noise that I didn't hear before. I don't think it had that jiggling noise inside of it before. And so now I just put it back in to test and see if I had broken it. And see that wobble in the needle? I don't remember that being there before. So anyways, this time I held it into my body so that when it released. So I don't know whether or not I bent the shaft. And the shaft doesn't look bent. I think something else. I can't remember whether or not it made this noise or not before. I'll tell you what I can do. I can put it on the lathe and see what it does. Because, well, the lathe's not really fast enough, quite honestly. This is a really high-speed deal here. No, what the hell's that all about? Oh yeah, there's something wrong there now. When you push on this, it's binding. Yeah, I broke it. Who the heck knows how this comes apart? Well, that doesn't unscrew. Train wreck. Alright, so I just switched it down to the low range, 30 to 150. And what I can definitely feel is, you can actually see it wobbling right there. There's a serious vibration going on inside here that didn't exist before. So my suspicion is that internally a mount or something has given way, and now the mechanism is able to flop around in there, and depending on which way the alignment is affected by that, I think that's what's causing a lot of my problem there. So I would love to take this apart and see if it's something that I could repair, but I haven't the foggiest idea how this comes apart. There are several holes right here which appear to be strictly for oiling. There's a hole on here that also under magnification appears to just be an oil port. So nothing, then doesn't appear to be anything that holds this on, yet it doesn't want to just come off unless it pulls off. Same thing with this bezel, this ring. I can get it to turn, not easily, but if I get it to turn, it doesn't unscrew. It just turns and turns and turns. So whether or not that's pressed on there, I don't know. And then this whole body is one solid casting. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this apart unless I try something really drastic that ends up probably damaging it. I do see that if I could get this piece off, there are two screws right there that hold the dial face on. But I'm not even sure how that dial pointer there is held on. If that's a press fit or what. So, if I really want another one of these, I'm probably going to have to just do an eBay deal, which I just looked right now, and there is one currently on eBay. Looks almost identical to this, and actually has it has more of the accessories that came with one of these. Looks like it's a slightly different model. I think it's got the same RPM ranges, but the box looks like it contains a little more stuff. And over here, underneath this piece right here, is where the original owner's manual is supposed to be. Mine was missing when I bought this. The one online has that. So I really liked this unit before I broke it, so I might take a shot at trying to get that one off of eBay, just because now it bothers me. It's a good thing that I got a really good deal on this when I bought it with a bunch of other stuff, because I'd be heartbroken otherwise. You know, there's typical eBay. There's one on there right now with a low starting bid and a buy it now of, I don't know, $50 or $60, and then there's somebody else showing one and they want $450 for it. So go figure. So like I started to say, all I got was these 3 items from this guy, and everything else was priced like through the roof. Doesn't matter. Wasn't going to buy anything there cheap, so I just took those things and ended up leaving. And then this week, closer to home, another similar ad popped up. Bad pictures. The guy had, you could tell that the place was just packed to the hilt with stuff. I saw a lot of heavy equipment, and I could just make out in one of the photos, I could just make out the side of a Rockwell 6x48 stationary belt sander.